Hey everybody, I've got a couple minutes before I got to get back to work. Just trying to catch my breath, ironically, so I'm going to talk. That's what I do best. Our water cycle in the entire world, but very, very much so in the US, has been hastened and extremified, if that's a word. I'm tired, it's hot. What I mean by that, we Americans seem to hate if we have any wet spot where the ground stays a little bit soft. If we're landowners, it's not exactly the best thing. And so we put in tile drain, we put in French drain, we put in whatever kind of drain we can get to get that water off our farm. Problem with that is it is hastening the water cycle. When the rain hits your ground, it flows off of your ground into a stream, into a creek, into a river, into a lake with a dam that goes into another river and eventually a gulf or an ocean. And then the cycle starts all over. We need way more water on our lands. One way to do that is improving soil. And I have beat that horse till it's beyond dead. A 1% increase in soil organic matter on 1 acre in roughly 6 inches of the soil profile will hold an extra 23 to 27,000 gallons more water. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about ponds. Adding ponds means, especially if it's a retention pond, if it is a ebb and flow pond, you are trying to use your land, so that's this space that I'm showing you right now, to catch the rainwater that is running off of your farm or land into a pond and temporarily hold it. Now, those of you who are astute would say if the pond is full, then whatever amount of gallons that go into the pond are just about to flow right back out. So what's the point? I'm taking this video right now. We have had one of the driest springs ever in Southwest Ohio. And this pond, which normally, look at all these frogs. Life is good. Check this out. So this pond, which when full, oh my goodness, look at all these frogs. I will finish my statement. Sorry, I just am amazed at all the life. Oh, there's a big one. Look at that big boy. Boom. When this pond is full, it holds roughly 1.7 million gallons of water. It might be a little bit more than that, but I don't want anyone to say, no, Danny, you lied. It's 1.78 million, not 2 million. So I'll say 1.7. And if you notice, our drain pipe, the water leaves the pond via that pipe right there. We are over a foot down. That is at least 250,000 to 300,000 gallons extra water needed to have a whole bunch of overflow. For me, that is a really exciting fact, because we could then, what is it? We've got 5 acres. It's like a 3-inch in 1 hour rainfall. Maybe only 1.5 inches of that would actually run off because our ground is so ready for moisture. But still, we could take all of it, all of that water. And you can see how much the life we are trying to give sanctuary to is gonna love it. But regardless, this water, even the plain water, is evaporating, adding moisture to the air. That extra moisture may be just what is needed for a rain event coming over our farm to continue having enough power to rain on our neighbors 10, 20, 50 miles downwind of us, if that's how you want to say it. And outside of the plain water, I also had to buck the trend. A lot of people say that this weed is invasive. This isn't just a weed. This is an oxygenating grass called Elodea. It does not like deep water. I planted it in the shallow areas, and I also have a backhoe. I can cut it back if I need to. But as you can see, it provides a ton of habitat for frogs and for critters and for minnows. This is all in a drought. This is all because we put in a pond. So you can see this piping we left here. I can get it out now. We left it here when the pond was new so that some fish would have some structure. It ended up working great. Being a black surface, it will heat up a lot on cold fall and spring days and give the fish a little bit of variance. But anyway, back to the point. We need to do what we can to retain water. In areas of the world that are much, much more arid, we need to do what we can to build more water retaining ponds. And I know there are some areas that have water rights and it's illegal and you'll go to jail and whatever bass-ackwards thing people can come up with because we cannot see the big picture. But I will tell you, in those places and otherwise, if you build retention ponds, especially high up in the soil profile, like up on the side of a mountain, the more water we hold, the more it will rain. I don't think in any of our lifetimes or even our great-great-grandchildren we could ever retain so much water that we're going to reverse the glacial melt and all that. But guys, we gotta start somewhere. We can't just say it's too hard, let's go to Mars. I'm sorry, but Mars doesn't have anything like this. So why give up now? Why do we have to be so lazy? We just have to say, you know what? Cheap food and soil destruction, that's just the way it is, okay? It's too hard. We've got to stop electing politicians that are just going to continue putting a big agriculture figurehead in the spot of Secretary of Ag. We need a farm bill that penalizes people that ruin the soil and kill wildlife. We need a farm bill that at a minimum gets out of the way so we can farm. Farming in this manner is rewarding in many ways. Financially is not one of them. But if you're a farmer or not, if you have just an inkling of land, putting in a pond can be very, very rewarding. It is a great pastime. It is a great escape, a very peaceful thing. I know it doesn't look like a whole lot now. Come back in a few years, you guys are going to be blown away with what we're going to do with this thing. But regardless, it's habitat. And we share this earth with many, 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 many other creatures. We were given dominion, not totalitarian, burn it all to the ground, extreme rule. This is our kingdom. We must care for it like we were given the kingdom as a gift, which we were. So enough preaching. You guys take care. Let us know if you have any questions. I'm going to go check on the cows.